Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Hoda and I'm an English teacher. And today I'm diving into a topic that's really essential for anyone who intends to learn a second language, or in our case, English. I want to talk about the importance of embracing mistakes when learning English. So if you've ever felt hesitant or embarrassed when speaking English, this video is for you. Let's start with a truth bomb. Making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process. In fact, it's an integral aspect of growth. If I want to put it in other words, I would say mistakes are stepping stones to success. I mean, think about it. When we were kids learning to walk, we didn't just stand up and start running marathons, right? We stumbled, we fell, but most importantly, we got back up and tried again. The same goes for learning a language. If you're not making mistakes when learning a language or when learning to speak that language, it means you're not trying hard enough to use that language, which consequently means you're not making any progress, you're not improving, and that's not a good thing, is it? Before you can be good at anything, you have to be bad at it first. And then you practice and practice over and over again until you become really good at it. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but Einstein actually has such a great quote that goes, "A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new." And it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Mistakes and learning go hand in hand. When you make an error while speaking, whether you spot it yourself or you're told about it by someone else, like a teacher, a friend, or a classmate, someone you really trust, then you'll be less likely to make that same mistake ever again. So you see, mistakes help you. They pave the way for you towards becoming a super accurate, fluent English speaker. Now, let me share a little secret with you. Back when I first started studying English, I didn't think learning to speak it was worth my time. Well, because I was living in a non-English speaking country and I figured I'd never really need it. But then fast forward a bit and I started to toy with the idea of becoming an English teacher. So all of a sudden, speaking English became super important. So I jumped into speaking classes. But here's the twist. Even though I knew my grammar and vocab were solid, I was scared to death of making mistakes when I spoke. And as a result of that, as you can imagine, I refused to speak in the class. And again, as you can tell, I couldn't speak, obviously. But my teacher actually, God bless him, he saw potential in me and he pushed me to speak up. He actually convinced me that my uniqueness would shine through if I let go of that fear. And you might wonder why I said my uniqueness. Well, because back in the day when I was taking those classes, I was actually head and shoulders above my other classmates in terms of my, language abilities. That's why. Anyway, and you know what? He was right, actually. Now I'm sitting here chatting away confidently with you guys, and I want to pass on that same encouragement to you. Don't let fear hold you back from improving your English skills. Trust me, it's all about taking that first leap and embracing the journey. So it's really important to change your perspective to overcome the fear of making mistakes when speaking English, so you don't let this fear dominate you and hinder your progress. I mean, if you look back across history, people have always learned everything through trial and error, because the only way to perfect a skill is through trying really hard and failing in doing it plenty of times until you reach that point where you become really perfect at whatever skill you're trying to hone. But then again, I should point out this fact here that nobody is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. And keep in mind that speaking English isn't about perfection. it's about communication. It's about expressing your ideas and sharing your thoughts and connecting with others. And guess what? You can do all of that even with a few grammatical hiccups along the way. Now I know what you're thinking. What if people judge me, right? Well, here's the thing. Anyone who's ever learned a second language knows exactly what you're going through. They've been there. They've made their share of mistakes, and they've survived. More often than not, they're not trying to judge you. They're just rooting for you. And as for those who actually really choose to mock you and to make fun of you for putting yourself out there and actually mustering up the courage to learn something new, to do something different, and to grow, you should know this fact about them, that this act of laughing at other people, it says more about them and their personalities and their insecurities than it does about you. So don't worry about them, just ignore what they say and keep moving forward. Let me tell you when you need to worry about mistakes. When you make mistakes and you ignore them and you keep making them over and over again without trying to fix them until you reach that point where you start to develop your own version of the language, something totally different from the language that's spoken by native speakers. This is where you need to be really careful, and this is what you definitely need to avoid doing. Now, let me give you some tips that can help you deal with mistakes and maybe use them to your advantage. Number 1, embrace the learning process. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. When you slip up, take a moment to understand what went wrong and how you can fix it. Number 2, practice makes perfect. The more you speak, the better you'll get. Don't shy away from conversations. Jump in, make mistakes, and grow. Number 3, seek feedback. Find a language buddy or a mentor who can gently correct your errors and guide you into the right path. So my friends, let's change our mindset and let's celebrate our mistakes because each one brings us one step closer to fluency. Remember, language isn't about perfection, it's about communication. Keep speaking and keep practicing, and most importantly, keep learning. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, keep practicing and stay fearless.